Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out today's broadcast. My name is Jonathan, and today is day 437 of my 3 year challenge to lose 300 pounds. If this is your first time checking out my broadcast, a little bit about me and the channel. I'm 39 years old. I'm married. We have 4 children together, and I've been overweight my whole life. As long as I can remember, I've been overweight. And, over the years, I've had some success with losing weight, but I've never been able to maintain any substantial weight loss. So I created this challenge to kind of record and kind of push myself to finally reach some goals that I should have reached a long time ago. And the two big parts of this challenge are that I challenge myself to focus on my health and my wellness for 3 years. And a big reason I chose that is because in the past I would, try to lose weight, for a vacation coming up, for a special event, and I would do pretty well at maintaining that focus, but I'd never be able to do anything longer than, 3 to 6 months. The longest I ever really held on to any type of weight loss diet was about 9 months. And then, I start to let kind of things come back from the old way of eating and things slip up, and I end up gaining all that weight back. And it got me to a point where I was over 500 pounds and I needed to do something. And so I challenged myself to focus on this for 3 years so that it would give me a chance to lose the weight and then also find a way to maintain that weight loss, not just to yo-yo down to, losing 100 or 150 pounds and then gaining it back. The other big part of this challenge is that I have a lot of weight to lose. And in the past, I've, tried to lose 50 pounds, 100 pounds, or try to get under 300 pounds. And I would hit those goals, but I would still be really far from being a healthy weight. And so that's why I challenge myself to lose 300 pounds. That way, when I'm done with this, I'll be, just over 200. I'll be 220 pounds. And that's a much healthier weight than I've ever even considered getting to. And so far, I'm like 14 months in and I've lost to about 200 pounds. I did hit that 200 pounds lost a couple months ago, and then I've been maintaining, or I've gained a little bit of weight here. But I did also have to have surgery and kind of went through some uh being laid up for a little bit. So um I'm doing great now though, and I'm really excited about this next year. I have kind of three main goals for 2022. It's to be more active, to get to my goal weight, and to kind of create and do more with my channel here. Um, if anybody has any non-scale victories they'd like to share, I'd love to hear your guys' non-scale victories. Any questions, comments, anything you want to add, I would love to hear from you guys. Well, we're gonna get going with the broadcast. I yesterday had an interesting kind of mental, like, oh my God moment. And I had left here after doing the stream, and I needed to go to the local, like, garden pet center where we get our dog food from and pick up some dog food. And I went to the place, and um they have, all kinds of gardening things, and then they have dog food and treats and toys. And I went to go grab the dog food, and I grabbed a bag of the dog food, and they're pretty large bags. And I was walking around the store and kind of just poking around, looking at maybe some other things to buy at the store. Anthony saying hello. Hello, Anthony. I hope you had a great evening and everything's going wonderful for you today. Um, and I was just kind of browsing around the store and looking for some toys. I used to get the Bark Box, and we stopped getting that like a month ago, and so I was thinking about getting the toy. Anyways, and one of the employees, this kind of older lady, walked up and saw that I had the bag kind of up on my shoulder, and offered, kind of was like, "Hey, I'll take that bag off your hands, so you don't have to carry it around." And I kind of hesitated and I was like, "Oh, I'm fine. I can carry it. It really wasn't bugging me. I had it up on my shoulder or whatever." And she kind of was surprised, but was fine with it. And she let me kind of go about, and I just continued with my shopping. And then, finished up, checked out, and then went home. And I was talking to Carrie about this at the house. And I kind of was talking, telling the story, and was just kind of like, I thought about it. I was like, well, it's only, you know, I don't even know how heavy the bag was, but it was nothing compared to the weight that I had been just carrying around day to day before I started this. And and then it got me thinking. I wonder how heavy the bag was, because I wasn't sure what the weight was. I knew that they were over 20 pounds, but I wasn't sure how heavy it was. And I looked at the bag, and it was a 30-pound bag of dog food. And it really kind of just blew my mind to think that I had over 6 of those strapped to my body, like, just, like, walking around day to day. Like, if I took 3 and put them on each shoulder and walked around, that was how I walked around every day. Like, that was how I lived my life. And I just was crazy, because I kind of thought that they were like 50-pound bags. So it would have been like 4 of them, but it was a 30-pound bag. And just that weight that it was, uh, I couldn't imagine. And I said it to Carrie last night. I was like, I almost want to go back to the store and buy 6 bags of the dog food, just to kind of throw them on my shoulder and walk around for 10 minutes and see how much my blood, my heart rate probably would go through the roof lugging that around for 5 minutes. And that was just how that's the weight I was. Like, every time I had to stand up out of a chair, like here, just getting up, I had to exert that much more effort just to stand up. Like, 180 pounds, like 6 30-pound bags of dog food. And that's why I didn't ever do anything. Carrie says, just stopping in for a few. One of the girls has voice lessons today. Yeah, you bet. I hope everything's going great at home. Um, and yeah, it's just a wild uh thing to think about, how much I've put behind me, and how much easier the stupid little things, like even getting in and out of my truck, or dealing with the ice on the ground, like the having to walk on a slippery surface with an additional 180 pounds balance, is just um crazy how I did it. Like, I don't know uh how I was able to do it. And it seems weird to me that I'm that far from that. But it's little things that I do that really I can see uh just a huge difference in getting around. Like, when I've gone to the grocery store a few times, and I've had like this moment where I realized that, like, I'm able to walk at a faster pace than, like I can. It's weird, like having different speeds of walking, I guess. Uh and so um it was and going up and down the steps, and I think I mentioned it before, just even going and doing something at work if I have to get up, and I just feel so much more nimble. And it isn't until I have a moment like carrying that 30-pound bag where I realize how much of a difference I've made in my life, and how much I've improved my life just in the past 14 months, you know? And it really has, it's been a blink of an eye. I mean, it seems like, um, just, you know, the other day I was 520 pounds, but it's been just being consistent and focusing on it and keeping at it. It's been on this plateau for a while, but I'm going in the right direction, and having those epiphanies. Like, I'm not far from having a seventh bag of dog food that I'm not carrying around anymore. Uh and really, I got 3, 4 bags left, right? And I can't imagine if I didn't, like, just now, if, like, thinking about the body I'm in now and dropping 60, 100 pounds off of this body is gonna be wild. It's been worth every bit of it. Yeah, and it's crazy that my body, it's almost like the getting to the point where I was 520 pounds is like the story of the frog boiling in a pot. Like, if you boil the water and then throw the frog in, he's gonna jump out. But if you have room temperature water and you throw the frog in and then you heat it up, the frog doesn't leave and it boils to death. And that's kind of the way getting to 520 pounds was. Like, it was such a slow thing, and I didn't realize I was missing these little things. And then now, I mean, and like, even like the ability to take care of myself after going to the bathroom has been infinitely better than it used to be. And so, uh all those are, all these non-skill victories I've had over the past year just add up and makes for an amazing result. So, um, so yeah, that was kind of going to the store, picking that stuff up, and I'm happy that I'm done with that weight and I don't have to ever worry about putting that weight back on. And then we ended up for food last night. Carrie made a salad. We have kind of just big bowl salads that we have for dinner sometimes. And last night was one of those with carrots and onions. I'm sure there was other things like cabbage, and I took a photo of it. Maybe I'll be able to tell from the photo what was in it. One of the things is that one of my favorite things that we have in our diet is this mustard dressing that Carrie makes. And it has um uh it's real sweet because there's like syrup in it. But it's got the strong mustard flavor, and Carrie actually made it yesterday and it was a bit thick. And at first I was kind of worried that it was going to be too thick, but I mixed it in. And then Carrie also made these, I think they're portobello mushrooms, but yeah, they're big mushroom caps that she put liquid aminos on and some other seasonings, and we put that with the salad, and just so satisfying. Just the most ridiculous um dumb meal. Like, it's just spinach and carrots and cucumber and onion and just vegetables, but just the satisfaction in it is through the roof. Like, I don't know uh how it's possible. Like, it's absolutely something that I would have turned away. I would have been like, "You're kidding me. I'd rather not eat than eat that." And now it is probably the best thing I've eaten in the last week. Like, just the satisfaction that I was getting from dinner last night was through the roof. Like, and the mushrooms was probably a big part of it. um, because I ate that salad and then I went and had the mushroom caps, or the mushrooms, just without salad, because there was a few pieces left, or a few chunks left. Um, so dinner was amazing. I think I was pretty full from that, but I did also have some shredded wheat. It had been a few weeks, I feel like, since I had shredded wheat with raisins and soy milk, and I was just craving that last night. And it's between that and the salad I had, my gut has felt like it's been this big since then. Like, I have been completely satisfied with all of that food I had last night. I didn't have breakfast this morning. So I'm like 20 hours fasted at this point, and just from, like I said, the satisfaction I got from that dinner, it's lasting. And uh I really haven't had any issues, just drank some water today, and that was really satisfying too. That quenched any type of hunger or any type of need I had. So I'm really happy with the diet. Like, I was uh I think I was talking about it yesterday, but it's just a stupid simple salad that I didn't think. I was just Yesterday I was like, all right, we're gonna have salad. There was nothing special about it or anything, but I was so satisfied with dinner last night. So, anyways, and then other than that, I kind of drank a little bit of cherry juice. We got some dehydrated mango left from Costco. I think I had an orange or two, like the small little oranges. And I did have some cashews. They're in the cupboard, and I can't let them go to waste. So I did have a little bit of cashews, but I got on the scale today. Things are going in the right direction. I'm expecting tomorrow that I will show a loss. I don't imagine that I wouldn't show a loss. I plan on having whatever we're having for dinner tonight, and then uh tomorrow I will skip breakfast again. I'm really happy with that setup. It works for me. And it, it guarantees for me that I'm going to have a calorie deficit over the course of the last week. And that's what I need to have if I'm going to keep losing weight. Because my big goal here for 2022 is to lose that 106 pounds, 107 pounds that I have left to lose. And in order for me to do that, I am going to have somewhat of a calorie deficit. I'm not sitting down and calculating every calorie that I eat. And so, for me, the best way to do that is to just kind of overall just make sure that within this week period, I'm eating at a deficit. And by eating kind of 2 meals a day, during most days, and then on Tuesday and Wednesday skipping breakfast and eating in the evening, I know I'm going to be at a deficit. I eat a lot when I eat. Like, I'm not starving myself at these meals. I'm eating large portions. I'm going for seconds, but I'm timing my meals to give my body the ability to process everything that I ate and have a clear system for a minute. It's not anything that I ever uh did before. I never gave my body a break. It was constantly eating, and I don't know that it needs to be constantly eating. It's like making your digestive system work 24/7 is like staying awake 24/7, or trying to walk 24/7, or trying to do a repetitive motion. Like, after a while, you're going to get tired and you got to take a break. And I feel like giving my digestive system that break between meals, having uh a gap between when I have breakfast and when I have dinner, and then with these 20-hour fasts, I'm giving my body a chance to catch up. It's working for me. And with the diet, with the whole food plant-based diet, no added salt, oil, sugar, it's it's not tough to do. It's really you know been awesome. And I'm really excited about this way, and I'm excited to keep going down and getting to my goal here by the end of 2022. I did finish reading the Fiber Fueled book by Will Bolshewitz. Uh I really enjoyed the book. It is very new information as far as like if you're gonna go and find a diet book or read a diet book, the information that's coming out about the gut microbiome is kind of the newest information that's out there. And the this book has a lot of information about overall health, things you can do to help with your gut. I believe there's some PDFs that he has a 4-week program in the book that he talks about for switching over to a plant-based diet. Um, the big kind of things from his book is about taking it slow, which I'm not a huge fan of, but if that's what people have to do to succeed, I guess, or if you can kind of transition slowly, then you know, to him it's like whatever way gets you there, take that path. And if it means adding fiber and seeing how that react, how you react to that and slowly adding things in, then do it that way. Um and then also he doesn't, you know, preach that you have to be perfect on a plant-based diet. If you could go 90% plant-based, then he would be happy with that because that's better than what people are currently eating. And those are kind of things that I'm on the fence about, how I feel like, because I really feel like that there's the two myths of moderation really do exist, the moderate consumption and moderate change, that those two things don't uh that they don't really it's tough. Like, I'm sure that there's examples, but kind of all of the big changes in my life have been immediate changes where, like I used to chew tobacco and I just quit cold turkey. And with this diet, just quitting cold turkey. Carrie did the same thing with this diet. Is we didn't try to slowly add in more plants. We just said, this is the day we're switching. We did it and it's over. We only made the decision one time and that works for us. That worked for me. And I really feel like I talked about it the other day, but the holding on to that abstinence is kind of important too. And that's what I'm trying to kind of reclaim, is that going back and being 100% on my diet, because you can be 97% on my diet and still good, or and like he talks about eating 90% plant-based, and that's still going to give you those results that you want to see. But that last 10%, from being 90% on my diet to that 100% on my diet, that's where kind of I I don't want to miss out on that 10% of weight loss by giving in, and by holding on to that, like I said, that abstinence mindset, that I'm done with anything that is not a whole food plant based, and I'm done with anything that's added salt, oil, or sugar. It's really tough. I mean, the temptation is real. I mean, every day, those I'm faced with the temptation, but there is such a good feeling. There's a satisfaction of having those days stacked up together. Like, to sit here and say I'm 3 weeks without having anything out of my diet. Those are, that to be able to say those things is a huge driver in the uh like keeping going. I mean, it's similar to like if you go to AA and they give you a chip, like the having that chip is you should have a feeling of accomplishment for going that length of time sticking to your diet. And I kind of let that go when I allowed some of these processed foods to happen when we went to the restaurant in Des Moines, and just kind of from there, uh, it's been a rough 3 months getting kind of back into it, to be like, this moderation doesn't work. I can't, uh, eat that stuff in moderation and succeed, because I can't not finish the whole meal. I can't order fries from a restaurant and not eat all of the French fries. Like, I want to, but it it just doesn't seem uh possible. I just don't do it. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's been um 3, 4 months kind of dealing with that, and it's just easier to be like, I just don't have French fries anymore, and I can eat potatoes, and I can have French fries. I just can't have fried in a oil French fries. And uh I'm really not missing out on anything. I've had millions of them, or whatever, thousands of them, but and so uh it's just getting back, and like I said, putting days together, and you know, getting on the scale. I'm a big fan of it. I know that there's people that will tell you not to, but they talk about it in the How Not to Diet book, Dr. Greger's book. They talk about uh there's been studies that show the most success happens on diets where people weigh in daily. And it's by a large percentage too. It's not just a little bit. And I believe it is true. When I avoid the scale is when I'm avoiding the scale, because I know it's not going to tell me something I want it to say. And when you face it, whether it's going to say something you want it to say or not, then that next time that you are faced with eating that junk food, you have to sit there and, you know, are you going to put up with the scale going up? And I, I'm happy with what's happening with it for me. So, anyways, I am thinking that I'm going to get out of here, guys. I hope everything's going great with your guys' weeks and your diets. I will be on tomorrow. I will be doing weigh-in Wednesday. Uh, Last week's weight was 326, so that puts me at 193 pounds lost over the time that I've done this. I'm hoping to show a little bit of a loss tomorrow. I'm not gonna be blowing anything away, because I had a 5 pound loss last week. So I don't anticipate having a huge loss. I'm just hoping that it is something, and it'll be good. So I'm gonna get out of here, guys. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, make sure that you do subscribe to the channel. Click on the bell icon so you'll get alerted when I go live, and click that thumbs up, like the video. Throw a comment down below, interact with it. It helps me grow this channel and maybe reach some other people that might be looking for some motivation and never thought to look towards a plant-based diet, because I never thought to look towards a plant-based diet. That was not my plan. Um, but I'm gonna get out of here, guys. If you haven't started your diet yet, get started right now. There's no reason to wait. There's no event coming up this weekend. There's nothing that's more important than dealing with your weight and your health. And I am so happy that I decided to do this and to get going. And the only thing that I can say is the same thing everybody says, is that I wish I would have started sooner. And so get started now, and if it's something just as simple as putting kind of a window on when you're eating, don't eat after 7 p.m. Don't, you know, uh, and then start looking at, what you can do from there. And if you haven't looked into a plant-based diet, highly recommend giving it a shot. There's a lot of programs out there for 28-day programs. I think there's the Physicians Committee has a 21-day program that you can look into. Give it a shot. You might be amazed at what it does for you. You guys all have a great evening, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a good one, Anthony.